It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
Good evening. Welcome on out to Bensalem High School, the home of the Owls, as we get you set for high school basketball on the WBCB Sports Network. It's neutral site action as the Pennsbury Falcons will take on the Northeast Vikings. We overlook Coach Sheldon per court and get you closer to the start of our high school basketball season here on the WBCB Sports Network, and high expectations for this Pennsbury team. Tonight's game on WBCB, brought to you by Team Toyota, McCaffrey's Food Markets. This is the McCaffrey's Game of the Night, and we've got tonight's game and tomorrow night as the Pennsbury Falcons will take on Palumbo in round 2 of this SOL Public League Challenge. A great way to get the season underway. And tonight's game made possible again by McCaffrey's, by Dion Square Merchants, thanks to St. Mary Medical Center, to the Revere Restaurant, Discount Auto on board for some Pennsbury Falcon basketball this season. Thanks to BCWSA, the Peruzzi Auto Group, East Coast Printing, the Trentonian, and this is the Trentonian pre-game show as we are about to embark on a brand new high school basketball season here on WBCB. You can read about tonight's game in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian, thanks to the Pennsbury Basketball Parents Club, Jammer Doors, DiLorenzo's Pizza back with us, and after the games we'll have our DiLorenzo's The Berg Player of the Game, and they get to enjoy a gift certificate from DiLorenzo's right there on New Falls Road, again powering portions of tonight's action on WBCB, and thanks to the Peruzzi Auto Group and Puss in Boots Tavern. It all started with the Pennsbury preview show at Puss in Boots as we welcome in Gus the Bus Barber and Mackay Gundy into our pregame activities. And an interesting scrimmage that the Falcons had, but here we go with game 1 of this brand new season, and the Falcons carry in some high hopes.
Yeah, high hopes. You know, a lot of new faces on this team, new set of leaders, and excited to get this season started. I'd be lying to say it's basketball season is not my favorite season here on the WBCB network, mainly because we are indoors, but nonetheless, the high school sports, the high school basketball, it doesn't get any better. Yeah,
we got all the energy in the gym, and we just enjoy the whole experience of bringing you high school hoops on WBCB, and Mackay Pennsbury has taken on Northeast in their season opening tournament each of the last 4 seasons, and in 2022 they lost to Northeast in the Hatboro tip-off. They beat them in the championship game in 2023 and faced them again last season in the opener of the first ever SOL Public League Challenge. So these two teams are familiar with each other, and this is kind of how they get their basketball season going. It's become a tradition.
Yeah, definitely getting familiar with each other. Like you just said, they're kind of starting, to know each other on the back of their hands, really just going out there and just knowing each other's games. Even though, you get a few new players every now and then, sometimes it's still the coaching staff that still practice in, and we're going to see which one prevails out here today.
Absolutely. And Mackay, let's talk about this Pennsbury team, mentioning the high expectations. They had a 13-12 season last year, up and down, and they worked their way into the playoffs. They won their first round playoff game before falling to the 1 seed, but they were powered by a couple of freshmen who got very important varsity minutes. Both of those guys are back now in their sophomore season, and you have a guy like Sean Breslin who really showed up in his sophomore year, now in his junior year, expecting big things from all 3 of them. Braden Clark, 6-foot sophomore guard, Patrick Joshua, 6'3" sophomore guard, and in his junior year, Sean Breslin, 6'5" junior. So a youthful team, but a team that also has a lot of experience at the varsity level.
Yeah, you saw a lot of these guys get valuable minutes last year, and then you see it this year. One thing you haven't talked about, there's a lot of good size on this team. I think there's 3 starters above 6'2" on this team, and just overall, just that size is going to help you throughout the season.
Yeah, and the one guy we didn't talk about, senior leadership coming from the big guy inside, Max Manga, a 6'5" senior forward, and Max's father went to Seton Hall, right? Played with Sam Dallenberg.
Yes, he did.
So high expectations for what Max can provide, and 5'10" junior guard Brady Kent has been opening eyes, and he was the guy that a lot of Pennsbury Falcons mentioned in the preview show would be have an unexpected season, would surprise some people with his play.
Yeah, and it's not just players on the team. Some people in the school, I have some family members that are seniors in the school, and they were even saying the same thing, that this team's going to be well, and one of the contributors is going to be Brady Kent on the squad.
All right, here they come, the starters for this Northeast Vikings team. A lot of seniors in this starting 5, including Nelson Ramirez, a 5'8" senior guard. Tahir Williams, who leads the team in scoring, averaging about 12 points per game, a 6' senior guard, and they're joined by Dre Jones Jr., 6' junior guard, along with James Walker, 6'2" senior swingman, and 6'3" senior forward Mark Jean, rounding out the starting 5 for Coach Steve Novosel. And Coach Emmy said, this is a really well-coached team. Coach Novosel always has his guys ready. Again, for the Vikings, it's Ramirez, Williams, Jones Jr., Walker, and Jean. And here come the starting 5 for the Pennsbury Falcons. Northeast 2-0 in their first couple of games. This one, the first true game for the Pennsbury Falcons. And Braden Clark, 6' sophomore guard, taking the floor, along with 5'10" junior guard, a shot maker and a defender, Brady Kent. And now 6'5" junior forward, Sean Breslin. Had a big season last year, and had a great scrimmage as the Falcons took on Morrisville and William Tennant. And now it's Patrick Joshua, the 6'3" sophomore. And rounding out the starting 5, 6'5", senior forward, Max Manga. All right, right now we'll step aside and return here for the start of tonight's game. High school hoops back on WBCB. It's the McCaffrey's Game of the Night.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Wayner Nationwide Insurance, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one-stop shop for all your shopping needs at Fairless Hills.
Since 1954, the name McCafferty has stood for outstanding automotive sales and service. Today, Patrick McCafferty continues that tradition at Discount Auto, right here in our own back.
Welcome back to Bensalem High School, the site of this year's SOL Public League Challenge. And tonight, the Pennsbury Falcons take on the Northeast Vikings. Pennsbury in this neutral site game will be the home team. Northeast, the away team. Northeast last year finishing third in the Public League Liberty Division. And their leading scorer, mentioned him a bit ago, Tahir Williams. Very well-coached team, and Coach Novosel mentioned their defensive intensity has been one of the things he has really liked out of this Vikings bunch in their 2-0 start, along with a certain sense of togetherness that they have been able to play with. As we get the whistle, and we're underway. Manga tips to Breslin. Breslin down low. He's bottled up, and now Kent will let this one go. A little bit strong there from Brady Kent, but the Falcons keep it alive. Brady Kent up top, and here is sophomore guard Patrick Jajua. Step back jumper off the front rim. Now Breslin tried to clean that up, and his shot a little bit short. Falcons got some good looks there. And Coach Emmy this year stressing that shot selection is going to be a key to this Pennsbury offense. Shot right there taken by Dre Jones Jr., not able to connect. Breslin on the break, and a block. Nice job defensively there by the Vikings to get back, and that's one of the things the Falcons are going to be trying to do this year, Gus, stretch the floor with what Coach Emmy calls the vertical spacing.
Yeah, you see it right there, and if you get a guy in an advantage like Breslin was, and he's so far ahead, why not try it? And I feel like if you continue to do that this year, you might see a lot of success with some of these players wanting to play fast, and you might see something out of Joshua more than we maybe anticipated in that kind of offense.
Yeah, they want to make sure they keep their eyes down court, as there's a drive by Clark that will get him to the line as he's fouled in the act of shooting on the drive. And it's going to be Dre Jones Jr. picking up the first foul of the night. McCaffrey's Game of the Night here on WBCB, brought to you by Peruzzi Buick GMC, where their business is you. And right now at Peruzzi Buick GMC, a year-end clearance. Check out the entire inventory. And we thank Peruzzi Buick GMC for helping to power some high school hoops on WBCB and get the season underway. 1 for 2 there at the line.
And there's been a reoccurring story for this Pennsbury Falcons in the West Emmy era. It's been free throw troubles and some of the woes in games, and how they weren't able to overcome those and win some of these games if you were able to hit some of those. So be interested to see how this team goes forward with the free throws and how well they're going to be able to hit those.
Tahir Williams there, fouled by Breslin. Foul on the floor. They inbound to Williams. Williams almost got it poked away by Kent. Now along the wing, a jump shot off the mark, and here comes Max Manga on the break, and he rises, tries to lay that one in, doesn't quite get the finish, and underneath, Breslin is going to get tied up. They call a jump ball. So with 6:30 to go, Falcons up 1-0 here in the early going.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Manga take one more dribble right there. It seemed like he took, too much long of a stride right there on that one. That's why he fell short.
Looked like he was trying to take off from the free throw line like Jordan.
Yeah.
Taking off on the runway there, had another step to take if he wanted it. As Ramirez brings it up the floor for the Vikings.
Yeah, and some of these Pennsbury players talking about Brady Kent being this emerging star. So far, his defensive prowess on this end has been amazing and crucial for this Pennsbury defense.
There's Williams on the drive, kicks out. One of the things that Coach Emmy stressed defensively was that the Falcons were going to have to guard the pick and roll. If they see that here from the Vikings, a little inside pass, bouncing it to Walker, but he can't control. It goes off of his knee. No, off of a Falcon. And we'll stay with Northeast. Well, just underway tonight, thanks to Peruzzi Buick GMC for helping to make portions of today's game possible, along with all of our community sponsors and support we get for Falcon basketball. Looking to inbound, it's poked away. And last off of Breslin. So again, stays with the Vikings. They'll try it again.
Yeah, he already showed where he was going to pass that ball on that one.
See if they go with a different look now, as now Williams flashes, but ball goes to Walker. Walker trying to get it inside, and the Falcons tip it away. Good defense by Pennsbury. The active hands. Now Kent starts the drive. Kicks out. Breslin takes it inside and gets called for the clear out. Offensive foul. And Breslin picks up his second.
Yeah, cleared that push off right there, extended the arm, really tried to create some space there, but ref's going to count that all day.
Yeah, and I think there's an emphasis on that. Once you extend that arm now, you see the offensive foul called more regularly.
Yeah.
So Northeast trying to get in almost a travel there. Good job by Manga to stop the basketball. Nice look inside Ramirez with the drive and finish. And Northeast finally on the scoreboard. Falcons, nice look over to Manga, couldn't handle the pass. Quickly up the floor to Williams. He almost lost it. Now Ramirez had another layup chance, doesn't finish. Kick out Williams for three. So here Williams connects, makes it 5-1. And a little nonchalant on that inbound as Joshua bouncing to Clark and poked away by Ramirez. Falcons nearly lost the basketball, but they'll inbound under the bucket.
Oh, no, they're going to say it's Northeast ball.
Oh, yeah. Mishandled there. And Falcons kind of with a mental error, nearly get the takeaway. Clark almost takes it away from Williams. Gets right into his body, and now up top, Ramirez will slow things down with 4.5 to go, first quarter. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. First real half-court set for the Vikings. They lose the basketball, but it's a fortuitous bounce over to James Walker, and he bounces it off glass, and then a takeaway. Williams with a bucket, and the Falcons with a timeout. 9-1 with 4:14 to go here in the first quarter. And tonight's game brought to you again by Peruzzi Buick GMC, where their business is you. And right now, Peruzzi Buick doing their year-end clearance sale on GMC Sierras, 20% off MSRP on Peruzzi's entire inventory of Sierras. And Buicks are offered at 0.9% financing and up to $3,000 off MSRP. Extraordinary savings now at Peruzzi Buick GMC on Sierras and Buicks during this year-end clearance. 20% off MSRP on Sierras and 0.9% financing on Buicks, plus $3,000 off MSRP. Peruzzi Buick GMC Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you. And yeah, kind of amazing. A year-end clearance. We're about to hit the year-end. We get the high school basketball season underway, which is interrupted by the holiday break. The Falcons going to be hitting the road to go up to Wildwood to play some games in a Christmas tournament out at the Shore, as we'll see what they can come up with out of the timeout. They get it to Clark. Clark, marked by Ramirez, flips to Kent. And up top, here's Joshua. Joshua behind the back dribble, loses it. Williams takes it away. Joshua nearly steals it, and then Manga comes in with the block, but it's cleaned up by Ramirez.
Big time block there by Manga, but nobody around to help out, and Northeast just able to crowd that block and just go easy up with it.
And a good job there by Clark, bringing the ball up with a little physicality and drawing a foul on Nelson Ramirez. His first of the night.
Yeah, minus that foul right there, I feel like Northeast is doing a good job just getting in the jerseys of Pennsbury. Just playing physical brand of defense.
Falcons bounce it into Hogan Camp. And now Joshua got the feet going. He travels and turns it over. So nothing working in the early going for the Falcons. Saw they had a slow start in their scrimmage against William Tennant. which ended up kind of being a round robin between Tennant, Morrisville, and Pennsbury. And then the second go-round that the Falcons played with Tennant really got things going. They need to start to turn things on right now. Williams dribbling up top. Manga comes out to help defensively, and now Hogenkamp on Walker. Walker picks up the dribble, hands off. Dre Jones Jr. working against Joshua. Kick out. Ramirez from downtown, a little bit short. Ball loose, and Manga can't control, and it's going to be last off of the Falcons with 3:01 to go first quarter. It'll stay with the Vikings. They look to add to their double-digit lead here in the early going. A drive there, the runner comes up short from Walker. In transition, Clark, a little too strong on the drive, but contact, and he gets the whistle and a trip to the line.
Yeah, good job by Clark there to recognize what he had in front of him. He didn't have the advantage of man-wise, but Northeast started trying to focus on each guy, and he saw a lane and really picked up the speed and went downhill. Good job by him to get the contact, too, to go to the free throw line. Braden Clark, only scorer right now for Pennsbury. They only have 1 point.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the Falcons are going to try to capitalize on, the team speed. Mentioned that vertical spacing, and right there you saw it as Clark gets himself to the line.
Yeah, things started to open up, and Braden Clark just turned it on himself.
And goes 1 for 2 in his second trip. Now Falcons with a little pressure. Ramirez working against Brady Kent. Calls out the play. Bounce it inside. It's loose. Williams hangs in the air and takes contact from Manga. And he'll work his way now to the line for 2 shots. Tahir Williams so far leading all scorers with 5. 2:32 to go first quarter. McCaffrey's game of the night here on WBCB. Chris Ermer with Gus the Bus Barber, Mackay Gundy. We're missing our buddy Ben Goldstein. He's going to be with us tomorrow night. Gus, you're going to be on a Toys for Tots assignment over at Fletcher's Garage.
Yes, out of all the games I miss, it's the first one with Ben Goldstein on the call. How could I miss?
Williams gets 1 of 2. And Joshua, nice job to fight for that rebound. Trying to work his way up the floor against Williams. Gets past him with a crossover, drives the lane, and is tripped up and heads to the line.
I thought it was getting real close to him getting that 8-second call on the backcourt.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I was like, I feel like it's coming.
He's trying to find his motion, trying to get shifty there, trying to find a lane. But yeah, it started getting real close to call, but obviously he had the time in his head. He knew the internal clock. He had enough time.
Gene right there picks up the foul, which was not a shooting foul. They call that one on the floor. And so Clark looks to inbound, tries to bounce it off of Jones Jr., and the Falcons lose it. Williams with a 3 in transition, drains it. Tahir Williams with a big first quarter. Joshua kicks out. Clark thinks about a 3, and now up top, Joshua holds. Asks for a clear out. Working against Williams, step back jumper. Not quite off the back rim, the Falcons keep it alive. Great job there by Zach Staines. And the bucket good right there, 2 for the Pennsbury Falcons.
Yeah, I believe it was a Hogenkamp right there for Pennsbury. Good job to just not do too much with it.
And then Staines with a steal. Some energy from off the bench for the Falcons. Joshua driving high off the glass. No, Breslin, or excuse me, underneath there, Bunda with the offensive rebound. And he takes contact as he tries to go back up with a second shot and heads to the line.
Yeah, like we said, a lot of new faces for this Pennsbury team. We're just trying to figure out who everybody is. We're used to so many people the same old guys from the last couple of years, Rocco Grande and Gozum, all these other players. It was such a big senior class, it felt like last year, that left. So now there's so much new young youth on this team. I don't even know half the guys.
Some new looks out there. And for Coach Emmy, he's looking at kind of a positionless basketball from his guys. He doesn't want players to stick to specific roles, wants everybody to kind of have a versatile ability, as that's poked away. Last touch by Hogenkamp. No, last off of the Vikings, so a good job there by Hogenkamp to poke that away. And we'll stay down here. Quick entry to Kent, quick shot, high arcing three, no. And pulling down the rebound. And in transition, the Vikings, they nearly lose it. But Raheem Brown sticks with it.
Yes, good job keeping your concentration right there, not losing focus of the ball.
And makes it 17-4 as we're under a minute to go, first quarter. Joshua crosses over Williams, drives, and finishes. Big-time stuff there by Patrick Joshua, a Joshua gem. Here to make it 17-6.
And I think we're going to see a lot of that this year. Joshua had to play kind of behind some seniors last year. Goes and Rocco Grande. Well, we were talking before we went on. This is his team now. I think you're going to see a lot more of him getting shifty and just him feeling himself.
Williams driving off of the dribble handoff. And the shot no good, but trip to the line. Here for Ivan Aracena. And with 24 ticks remaining in the first quarter, he'll get a couple of looks at the bucket. Read about today's game in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage. You can count on it 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. Thanks also to the Pennsbury Basketball Parents Club. Lee Luckman and Medela Capital proudly supporting Pennsbury boys basketball and making portions of today's game possible here on WBCB. Aracena goes 1 for 2 at the line. Joshua dribbling against Garcia, and Garcia bangs into him as Joshua draws the foul. And that's number 5. So Joshua to the line. Team foul 5 on the Vikings here in quarter number 1. Great to have you with us on WBCB. McCaffrey's game of the night, part of the SOL Public League Challenge, and we'll be back tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Pennsbury taking on Palumbo. You get the suburban schools taking on the Philly schools. Pennsbury, they were scheduled to play McDevitt in their scrimmage, and Coach Emmy felt like that would have been more of a style, matchup, help them get ready for this game. Similar styles to Northeast and Palumbo. Kick out to the wing, shot on the way. E.J. Perilla can't connect at the buzzer, and we reach the end of quarter number 1. 18-7. It's the Vikings on top of the Falcons. High school hoops on WBCB. We'll step aside and return to Bensalem for more of the SOL Public League Challenge on WBCB.
Since 1954, the name McCafferty has stood for outstanding automotive sales and service. Today, Patrick McCafferty continues that tradition at Discount Auto, right here in our own backyard on Business Route 1 in Langhorne. Discount Auto has over 100 hand-picked pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans, all fully inspected and ready to go. Discount Auto, the perfect place for your kid's first car. Discount Auto, the perfect place for a fine pre-owned family car or an SUV or even a van. Discount Auto, they're locally owned and operated by Patrick McCafferty, who supports our community. The name McCafferty means great automotive sales and service at Discount Auto, Business Route 1 at Oxford Valley Road, Langhorne.
Welcome back. High school hoops on WBCB. One thing we saw in that scrimmage late in that matchup between Pennsbury and William Tennant was they can score in bunches, and they need to turn this one around. A tough first quarter to open up the season for Pennsbury. They trail Northeast 18-7 as we get back to action here on WBCB. McCaffrey's game of the night. McCaffrey's Food Markets, exceptional every day. Chris Ermer with Gus Barber, Makai Gundy. Thanks so much for being with us. Clark with a kick out. And now a drive bottled up. Breslin in the corner. He kicks out to Kent. Intense defense from the Vikings in a 2-3 zone. Clark double teamed. Breslin open for three. He's got it. Much needed bucket. And Sean Breslin connects from downtown, makes it 18-10.
Yeah, and that shot right there is going to be right there for him all day.
And then a steal from Staines in transition. Breslin to Manga. And two more, talking about scoring in bunches. 5 quick points for the Falcons to get the second quarter underway. Now they try to turn up the defense. Clark on Williams. A kick out 3. Not that time for Devin Garcia. Mangan up the floor for Clark. Clark behind the back dribble, lucky to hold on to it. Breslin up top. Rims out. And now Williams with a 2-on-1 break. He'll pull up. Jump shot off the back rim. And here's Brady Kent getting the Pennsbury offense going. Zach Staines in the corner, back out to Clark. Clark gets a screen from Manga. His shot a little bit short. Kent will fire away. Not that time. And a nice spin move there by Garcia. And he finishes, gets the whistle, and will head to the line for an end one opportunity.
That's tough if you're Pennsbury to try to defend that. Just trying to get some motion here on offense, turn the ball over. Northeast has the man advantage and has a lane. And if you're Braden Clark, you're doing everything you can to try to stop that. And he did, but great job by Northeast to fight to the contact and get the and one.
5'9" senior guard Brendan Ryan getting his first minutes. Zach Staines will sit down for a bit for the Falcons. So you got Ryan out there with Joshua, Manga, Breslin, and Clark. And at the line, Garcia off the front rim, no. Offensive rebound. And Brahim Brown then a tie-up underneath. So jump ball, and Vikings with the arrow. So they'll give it to Walker. Trying to get it into Williams, poked away by Clark, and Williams has to go back and retrieve. Down to the 6-minute mark in the second quarter. High school hoops back on WBCB. Clark intense there, pokes it away from Williams. And Williams there, as he works along the sideline, takes a little contact and gets the whistle. That's Breslin picking up his third.
Yeah, and he's going to have to come out.
Yeah, Breslin will sit down, and Owen Hogenkamp back out on the floor for Coach Emmy.
Yeah, that's going to hurt right there. You came in and provided some good energy coming into the second quarter.
One of their better shooters, too. Breslin now on the bench.
Garcia dribbling up top. Out to Brown, looking underneath the bucket. Not a bad idea, but Walker could not control, and it goes out of bounds. Back to the Falcons with 5:39 to go in the first half. Wide open, 3 on the way. Hogenkamp can't quite connect on that one. Pretty good open shot for him. Now Garcia pulls up, long rebound, and it's poked back to Garcia, and Garcia gets his legs cut out from under him, and a foul called against Brendan Ryan. So for Ryan picks up his first. And for the Falcons, that's their 4th here in the second quarter. Right there, knocked to the floor is Brown. Whistles are silent. Vikings keep it alive. Can't connect on the shot, but another offensive rebound and another chance for Northeast. Garcia looking around. Tries to kick out, almost a backcourt violation. Good job there by Patrick Joshua. Is all over Dre Jones Jr. Dre Jones Jr. not giving up. And the kick out to Walker, but gets the feet going before he put the ball down. It's a travel.
Yeah, you're seeing Pennsbury settle down here on the defensive side now, not getting too over angsty, trying to settle down on their roles. And offensively, they've been making shots. They just haven't made a shot in a while, so they got to see that ball hit through the net again. And maybe they'll get on a run.
Joshua pulls up his jump shot off the back rim, but takes contact as he lets that one go and will head to the line.
That was a crazy pull up there by Joshua.
Yeah, I was thinking Kobe. I didn't want to, give him a big head right there.
He is wearing number 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there with defenders draped all over him. Still look a pretty good look, and earns a couple and cuts the lead to 7 with that one. About halfway through the second quarter. Falcons down 11 after quarter number 1. And possible here for Joshua to cut it to 6. Gets the bounce. And a half dozen, the lead for the Northeast Vikings. Into Kamar Gale. Baseline stepped out of bounds. Officials right on top of it. Baheem Brown. Right there. Just stepped on the line.
Yeah, and I always tell people basketball, it's a game of runs. It doesn't matter how big the lead is. The other team is going to go on a run at some point. Pennsbury starting to feel like they're going on the run right now.
He had a good start to this second quarter, and now trail by 6 and can get right back in this game. Manga dribbling up top, hands off to Clark. Clark with a burst of speed, drives inside, doesn't get the finish, but a trip to the line again. Brady Clark with free throws. And what a burst from Brady Clark.
Yeah, great job of disguising him going right by calling out Manga to come to the left side. The defender sees that, thinks he's going to go to his left. Quick jolt to the right, finds the lane, and almost perfectly euroed that guy. Got the contact though, so was able to go to the line nonetheless.
Explosive first step there, Mackay.
Yeah, definitely.
And his third trip to the free throw line.
And you said how at the preview show, a lot of these Pennsbury players were talking about Brady Kent being that emerging star and that new emerging player. I am really high on Braden Clark. What I saw last year from him, setting up, we always see the JV games. He was the guy on JV. And as a freshman, we talked all about Joshua, but he got meaningful minutes as well at the varsity level. And I knew coming in, he's going to be one of these guys that's going to take the step with Joshua. Them being best buds. How can they not play well together?
Couple of missed opportunities, though, for Clark. 3 for 6 from the line here in the early going. Up top, they hand off to Garcia. Garcia working against Hogenkamp, picks up the ball. Has to give it up to Gale. Gale double-teamed. Where's he going with it? And a foul finally picked up by Brady Kent. And that one, not a shooting foul. I thought that might send the Vikings to the line. No, they give it to Walker underneath. 3:36 to go, second quarter. Backcourt violation as they inbound to Williams, and then he stepped over the midcourt line.
Yeah, clear as day. Can't do that.
An opportunity for the Falcons maybe to cut further into this lead. Joshua working against Williams, and picking his pocket is Kamar Gale. Gale with the run out. And a great finish for the 6'2 sophomore. Makes it 22-15. And for Joshua, just a lack of awareness there. Didn't see him coming. Brady Clark takes it inside. Euro step. Doesn't get the shot off, but takes contact. And another trip to the free throw line for Braden Clark.
Yeah, that one was another great burst of speed right there.
Second foul picked up by Walker. He swishes home the first of two. Tonight's game brought to you, now open on Business Route 1 in Lawrence Township, the region's newest showroom for garage doors, entry doors, and windows. We're talking about Jammer Doors, longtime supporter of Pennsbury basketball on WBCB. Well, true to form so far, Brady Kent has gone 1 for 2 each time he's been to the line, but it's now just a 4-point advantage for the Northeast Vikings.
Yeah, you got to clean those up if you're Braden Clark at the free throw line. You're getting the opportunities, but only going 4 from 8. It's not going to do it.
Garcia hands off to Williams. Williams with a long three. Got it. Wow. I mean, Falcons will let him shoot from that kind of distance, but makes him pay. Mango with the drive along the baseline, no. And gets the offensive rebound, and looked like he was grabbed around the neck. Foul picked up. That's going to be number 3 on James Walker. So Walker in a little bit of foul trouble, and he will sit down here for Coach Steve Novosel in his 10th year. Nice inbound to Joshua. There's that chemistry you were talking about, Gus. Clark to Joshua, and easy bucket. Makes it a 7-point game. And as Garcia races it down the floor, a little too much contact there from Brady Kent, and he's called for the foul. Kent there looking over to the Pennsbury coaches, just trying to get coached up, kind of see what little things he could have done right in that situation to prevent Garcia from stepping to the line for his first looks from the stripe. Remains a 7-point game. Tonight's game brought to you by the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club and Medela Capital. Lee Luckman and Medela Capital proudly supporting Pennsbury Boys Basketball here on WBCB. McCaffrey's game of the night. McCaffrey's Food Market's exceptional every day. Offensive rebound won by Mark Jean, but he can't get the shot. And now the Falcons working with it. Clark kicks out. Staines up top. Nearly poked away. Hangs with it. Kent for 3. Brady Kent.
Dribbled into trouble, was able to get out of it and find the man in the corner.
Now Kent defending against Garcia. Garcia picks it up, hits Williams on a cut, and snuffed out by Max Manga. Great block. Kent in transition, and send him to the line again.
And it counts.
Give him the bucket. And 1.
What an emphatic finish there by Braden Clark, cradling it like he's Dr. J, getting the contact going up with it. Man, oh man, Braden Clark is putting on a show here in the first half.
Yeah, got to give credit to Magna, too, on that block.
Again, getting himself to the line here to turn things around in the second quarter and make it a 1-point game. 25-24, Northeast in front. Nice look up to Ramirez, rejected by Clark. And Clark fired up after that block, sends it into the stands.
Oh, my man's feeling himself right now. Flexing on him after that block. You gotta love what you're seeing from Brady Clark if you're Coach Emmy.
Now with about 90 seconds to go, they send it into Williams. Williams drives, a little too strong. Bunda underneath, battling for space, and gets it over to Brady Kent. And then Kent takes contact, and foul picked up by E.J. Perilla. And that's team foul 5, so Kent to the line. Falcons have turned things around. They were trailing 18-7 after the first quarter in tonight's McCaffrey's game of the night, and they even it up at the line. Brady Kent tying us up at 25. 1:18 to go before the break. Again, back here tomorrow night, Pennsbury taking on Palumbo in more of the SOL Public League Challenge. And we've had a good half so far. Falcons coming from behind to take a 26-25 lead with just over a minute remaining. Ramirez trying to bounce it inside, deflected by Pennsbury. Up the floor to Brady Kent, hangs in the air, tries to send that one high off the glass. Doesn't get the shot, but gets the whistle.
Yeah, he passed it right into trouble on there. I don't know how he didn't see the second defender coming up to steal that ball away.
And now Brady Kent has really turned it on in the second quarter. He's got 5 and looking for a couple more from the line with 1:04 to go. And he adds to the Pennsbury lead. Tonight's game brought to you by Peruzzi Service. For complete automotive service, trust the Peruzzi Automotive Group for value and service on all makes and models on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Peruzzi, where their business is you. Kent makes it a 3-point game as he connects at the line. And Vikings now with under a minute again. They look to get it into the high post. Again, poked away by Pennsbury. Clark behind the back dribble. Holds on to it, sends it into the corner. Kent inside, big time contact, no whistle. Kent looking to the officials as it goes out of bounds, and it will stay down here as it's last off of Northeast. No, last off of Pennsbury.
Surprised they didn't call a foul there on the Brady Kent attempt.
Yeah, certainly a lot of contact, a big collision underneath, in fact. Ramirez puts on the brakes and hands off to Williams. To hear Williams with Clark all over him. Good switch there by Pennsbury. Joshua is poked away, stolen by Staines. Looks across the lane to Clark, and Clark, little hesitation, picked up the basketball and travels.
Yeah, Northeast right now, it's just, I feel like they're just dribbling into a lot of, where the Pennsbury guys are at and just making careless passes with the ball. He can do a better job of taking care of it.
Yeah, kind of passing right into the teeth of the Pennsbury defense.
Yep. Yeah, and they're baiting them as well.
25 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Poked away by Hogenkamp.
See Coach Emmy arguing about how there was no call there or certain call, and you see Coach Emmy looking up at us, looking at the camera saying, did we get that film? So I hope Coach Emmy looks back after that, and yes, I hope we did get it for you, Coach.
Well, the Falcons plan to go about 10 deep, 12 deep, and getting some late substitutions here. before we hit halftime. Perilla gets the inbound for Northeast. Perilla working against Hogenkamp. Drives shot off with the left, a little bit too strong. Kent now in transition. Zach Staines to Joshua. Joshua surveying the floor. And now Williams comes up to mark him. Joshua rising up with the jump shot at the buzzer. A good look at the end of the second quarter, but it won't fall for the Pennsbury sophomore. And we reach halftime with the Falcons now in front, 28-25 over the Northeast Vikings. It's the SOL Public League Challenge on WBCB, the McCaffrey's Game of the Night. And again, for complete automotive service, trust the Peruzzi Auto Group for value and service on all makes, all models, and they're right there on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Visit a Peruzzi dealership right there where their business is you, and we thank them for supporting high school hoops on WBCB. Also thanks to Lee Luckman and Medela Capital, proudly supporting Pennsbury boys basketball. And with us for tonight's game, don't forget, if you miss any of tonight's action, read about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding and local, national sports coverage, local and national. They got you with the Trentonian. Check that out in their newspaper pages or online at Trentonian.com. All right, we'll take a look at first half scoring. Get you ready for second half action when we return to Bensalem High School for more high school hoops on WBCB.
You know, McCaffrey's Food Market is exceptional every day, and they are proud to serve you since 1986. They're a local hometown business. They support your community, whether it's helping flood victims or holding fundraisers for the American Cancer Society or employing our local high school students. McCaffrey's is always there. They have the finest products, prime cuts of meat, a prepared food department where everything is made fresh daily, and also a fresh seafood department. Visit McCaffrey's Food Market near you in Yardley, Newtown, New Hope, Princeton, West Windsor, Gladwin, and Doylestown. They are exceptional every day, and they are local and proud of it. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more. Don't let joint pain bring you down.
Welcome back to Bensalem High School. Little neutral site high school hoops on WBCB, the SOL Public League Challenge. And at halftime, between the Pennsbury Falcons and Northeast Vikings, Falcons in front 28-25. And leading all scorers for Northeast was Tahir Williams, had 12 points in the first quarter alone. But like the Vikings team really got quieted down in the second quarter, where Pennsbury was able to pick things up. And tonight's game brought to you by East Coast Printing 215, your go-to source for custom apparel and printing in the 215 area and beyond. East Coast Printing 215, they bring your ideas to life. Custom screen printing, direct to film printing, embroidery, and custom orders from t-shirts, hoodies, and hats, bags, and more. If you can imagine it, East Coast Printing 215 will bring it to life, whether you're outfitting a team, promoting your brand, or just creating something unique for yourself, or maybe for the holidays. East Coast Printing 215 in the Morrisville Shopping Center is your go-to source for top quality and very quick turnarounds. And again, holidays coming up, maybe some gift ideas with East Coast Printing 215. They're in the Morrisville Shopping Center, open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8, Saturdays open till 3. Don't forget, you missed the action here on BCB. Read about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. All right, we are coming right back with more halftime activities as the Falcons are in front, up 3 at the break.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBSports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties. WBC. Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water.
Welcome back. The Pennsbury Falcons taking on the Northeast Vikings. Pennsbury up 28-25 at halftime. And in the first half, the Falcons with pretty balanced scoring. 3 of their players with 7, Braden Clark, Brady Kent, and Patrick Joshua, all with 7 in the first half. Also contributing 2 was Owen Hogenkamp, 3 coming from Sean Breslin, and 2 from Max Manga for the Northeast Vikings. Kind of a top-heavy scoring sheet with Tahir Williams getting 12 in the first quarter, and he leads all scorers in this game. 4 coming from Nelson Ramirez, and then you got 2 from Garcia, 2 from Walker, 2 from Brown, 2 more points. No, 2 from Brown, and 1 point from Aracena for the Northeast Vikings, who had a big lead after the first quarter, but the Falcons able to turn things around, and now they have a 3-point advantage as we get back underway. Joshua tossing it in to Brady Clark. Great to have you with us here on WBCB as we Braden Clark, and they get it into Breslin. Breslin forcing the issue and getting the whistle.
Yeah, Breslin pretty much a non-contributor, it seemed like, in that first half. So good to see them trying to get him activated and implemented in this offense early.
Yeah, and one thing that maybe hampered him a little bit, Gus, was that he ran into some early foul trouble.
Absolutely.
And there he gets back on the floor and doesn't shy away from physical play.
Yeah, he got 3 quick fouls there in the first half, and after that, he pretty much didn't see the court for the rest of the half.
Connects at the line to make it a 5-point game. Pennsbury now up 30-25. Williams over to Ramirez, now into the corner to Walker, now back up top. Pennsbury giving him very little space as they ratchet up the defense here to start the second half. Clark working against Jones Jr. Jones Jr. puts up the shot, a little bit too strong off the back rim. Breslin up the floor to Joshua. Joshua around 2 defenders, and he gets the whistle. Blocking is called against the Vikings. And is that going to be a shooting foul for Joshua? Yes. Steps to the line with 7:16 to go as we're just back underway. Third quarter action here in the McCaffrey's game of the night. Chris Ermer, Gus Barber, Makai Gundy. WBCB will be back here tomorrow as the Falcons have round 2 of this SOL Public League Challenge taking on Palumbo. Joshua hits at the line. After this game, Bensalem will take on Palumbo, and then tomorrow they'll flip-flop as Pennsbury plays Palumbo, Bensalem plays Northeast. Great measuring stick to kind of see where these teams are at to start the season. And Joshua 2 for 2 at the line to extend the Falcon lead. Well, Gus, you mentioned it. Manga with another block. I mentioned at halftime that it was like 2 different teams for Pennsbury in the first half. Favorable bounce there for Brown. He gets the bucket. Makes it a 5-point game. Breslin for 3. Little short in there to tip away his own miss and keep it alive for the Falcons. Joshua up top kicks out to Clark. It looked like just 2 different teams in that first half. First quarter dominated by the Vikings. Second quarter, Falcons had the edge. And there's Joshua, step back jump shot, a thing of beauty.
Now, if Pat is hitting those kind of shots this year, it's going to be real hard to slow this guy down. Already shown the burst and kind of maneuvers he got to the basket. Now he's doing pull-up, fade-away, mid-jump, mid-rangers. got me speechless right now. Can't even talk.
Williams there from distance fired that one away, couldn't hit. But yeah, Joshua, 4 quick points, Gus, in the third quarter. Now he's in double digits with 11 for tonight's game. As one of the returning varsity starters, he averaged around 10 points per game last year. Max Manga with a post move, and he gets the whistle on his drive to the bucket, and will step to the line with 5:41 to go in the third quarter.
Max Menga, one of the few seniors on the team, so I'm going to have to think this team's going to look to him for some leadership roles.
Yeah, Joshua was the first freshman to average double figures since Dalton Pepper did it in 2006, and was the last freshman starter since Makai Bryant.
I didn't know you had it like that, Makai.
And
yeah, Makai Bryant in 2012, was able to see him. That was a really fun team. Him, Derek Woods, Cam Jones.
Okay, yeah, I remember those guys.
Yeah,
I remember they came
that
here.
was a squad that that they had a couple years ago, and then obviously Makai's senior year, 2015 it was. They almost went all the way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember that year because I remember them coming over here and putting, a smack down on us.
Yeah, BTA, some say.
Nearly a backcourt violation. Now Williams turns on the Jets, drive to the bucket, doesn't get the finish. Braden Clark in transition, hesitation drive. Off the glass and good.
Yeah, one thing about those two different teams we saw in the first quarter and the second quarter by Pennsbury is Braden Clark turning it on in the second quarter, and it really was the Braden Clark show for Pennsbury in the second quarter, and right there picking up where he left off.
Jones Jr. fouled by Joshua. And that's the first foul of the night for Pat. And a timeout called with 5:06 to go, third quarter. Falcons have extended their halftime lead, now up double digits here in the SOL Public League Challenge. Don't forget, you missed tonight's action. Read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. Complete local and national news 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian, or online, Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. A big thanks to East Coast Printing 215, your go-to source for custom apparel and printing in the 215 area and beyond. East Coast Printing 215, they bring your ideas to life. Custom screen printing, direct to film printing, embroidery, custom orders from t-shirts, hoodies, hats, to bags, and more. If you can imagine it, East Coast Printing 215 will bring it to life. And, whether you're doing something for a team, you're promoting your brand, something for your company, whether you're outfitting, your family for the holidays, check out East Coast Printing 215. They can create something unique. They're in the Morrisville Shopping Center and your go-to source for top quality and very quick turnarounds. East Coast Printing 215 in the Morrisville Shopping Center, open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8. Saturdays, open till 3. So big thanks to Peruzzi Buick GMC with their year-end clearance sale. We'll tell you more about here as we get back to action. Northeast out of the timeout. Up top, Ramirez. Pennsbury, a tenacious man defense here. Clark with a contested shot there. Jones Jr. and unable to hit. Loose for a moment. Joshua picks it up, goes coast to coast. No. Clark tries to clean it up. His putback is no good. Breslin dancing in the lane. Out to Kent. He can't connect, and it's tipped out of bounds. And last off of Quentin Schaefer. Schaefer getting some minutes here tonight. Again, the Falcons have been able to go pretty deep into the bench. Schaefer also a quality baseball player.
We're going to say,
Two-sport athlete.
I thought he looked familiar.
So with 4.5 to go, Falcons up 10. E.J. Perillo walks it up Again, the Vikings got started this season with wins over Bartram and Central, and both of those wins pretty much blowout victories for Northeast. And it looked like it was heading that way in the first quarter tonight until the Falcons got a hold of things. And now they hold a commanding lead. Double teamed over there, and going out of bounds with the basketball is Brown. Nice job by Quentin Schaefer with the defense as he heads back to the bench, and Max Manga back out onto the floor for Pennsbury.
This is one heck of a, turn of the tides right here. Earlier it was Northeast with over a 10-point lead. Now you got Pennsbury sitting with their 10-point lead.
Yeah, big time runs and swings in this one. And why not? We love that kind of excitement. That's why we're so happy to be back in the gym and to be back with high school basketball on WBCB. We got a ton of games both in Bucks County and in Mercer County coming your way throughout December. And then we get the holiday break. We swing right back into it in January. A steal, they take it away from Kent. Breslin takes it right back for the Pennsbury Falcons. Inside spin move. Clark can't finish, but Manga is there to turn garbage into gold, and two more to put the Falcons up a dozen.
I really like that spin move, but that was a good job by Manga cleaning it up on that one.
And a good job just to follow up the play. It's been a total team effort to have this Falcon turnaround. In the second quarter, felt like that team vibe broke down a little bit, and Patrick Joshua, felt like he was kind of taking over and trying to do what he could individually. And since they started to get back into more of that team mentality, it's been a huge turnaround. Manga extends the lead to 13. Clark working against Williams. Williams takes it right down the middle of the lane, doesn't get the finish. Staines throws it off one of the Vikings. Clark picks it up and picks up a foul. Foul called on Aracena. So Aracena, limited minutes, but he's picked up now foul number 3 in the time he's been out there. So back to the line again for Braden Clark. Got himself there 5 separate times in the first half. Actually might be 6 because he had an end one too.
He did have an and one.
His quickness, a difference maker. And he's been working his way to that free throw line to help Pennsbury turn things around and be a consistent offensive threat. Here tonight, Perilla, marked by Staines, out onto the wing there. Gale trying to work against Joshua. Joshua all up in his business and a little too much for the officials' liking. You say contact, and foul called number 2 against Joshua tonight with 3:07 to go, third quarter.
Yeah, that ref said he was all up in his grill.
They flip into Perilla. Perilla working against Zach Staines. Staines off the bench has really helped the Falcons on the defensive end of the floor and has a steal right on cue, takes it away. Staines with the layup, does a good job to get the shot off, but doesn't get the finish. Off the back rim it comes, and here's Perilla in transition. And a good quick shot there by E.J. Perilla, his first bucket of the night. But yeah, you look up and Falcons have started to run away with this one, up 19. Joshua in the lane, thought he should get a whistle. None coming. Perilla has his pass intercepted. Stripped away there by Bunda.
Yeah, Bunda, another one of these guys for Pennsbury that just has a great amount of size and has some length to him.
Yeah, Nick Bunda out of Penn Valley Elementary School. Joshua for three. A little strong off the back rim. Manga gathers it up, sends it inside to Joshua, rises up with the jumper. Can't finish. And the rebound, Brown, able to finally shovel it to one of his teammates. A little more than a minute and a half remaining in the third quarter. Vikings bottled up, and now Perilla closes out, or Staines closing out on Perilla. Now Perilla driving, and Staines whistled on the foul there. Oh no, they called, give it to Manga. As Max Manga picks up foul number 2. Jaja will get a breather. So you got Clark, Manga, Hogenkamp, Staines, and Bunda pokes it away. Clark brings it up the floor, rises up, and lays it in. 2 more for Braden Clark. And the Falcons up 44-23 here in the McCaffrey's game of the night.
You can just see Clark's confidence level just arise with every, it feels like minute or second as this game goes.
And maybe even the team confidence lifting up as this game goes on, Mackay. Yep. And right there, really getting some defense turning to offense in the third quarter. Right there, Hogenkamp comes up with the steal, and as he brings it up the floor, fouled, and he'll step up for 2 off the back rim. This one scoreboard is messing me up sometimes. I'm recognizing that, like, it looks like 23, but it's 29.
Yeah, there's like a net in front of it. Trust me, Chris, it's been screwing me up this whole time as well.
So I've probably have some erroneous stuff there going on, but a foul, and Perilla hits the floor. Foul picked up by Zach Staines, his first of the night. Again, big thanks to Peruzzi Buick GMC. Check out their year-end clearance sale. Vikings driving, but the Falcons poke that one away. On the move that time was Kamar Gale. It's Pennsbury, one of the things that they're really prioritizing this season is valuing the basketball. They want to play fast. They want to get that vertical spacing, but they know that they have to make sure that they avoid turnovers. I think that's been one of the things that has been impressive. They've done a pretty good job, especially here in quarters 2 and 3, of taking the basketball away and not coughing it up, as Bunda has Perilla all over him. Thought the whistle might blow right there up top, but the refs let him play on. As we get down to 12 seconds to go, Joshua steps back with his jump shot, no good, bounced around or knocked around, and then off of Bunda, out of bounds. And with 6.7 remaining here in quarter number 3, the Vikings will try to send it up the floor. Meanwhile, Brady Kent onto the floor for Pennsbury as Braden Clark gets a breather. They send it into Perilla, races it up. Impossible angle off the back rim, no, and then Breslin holds on to it as the horn sounds, and we reach the end of quarter number 3 in the McCaffrey's game of the night, with Pennsbury in front 45-29. We'll step aside and return for more action on the WBCB Sports Network in just a moment.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Welcome back. Hey, with the holidays approaching, let Puss in Boots in Fairless Hills do all the work for you. They can cater any event, a holiday office party, a home party. Puss in Boots will set up everything for you, featuring the same great menu that has made them famous for over 50 years. They even have a special brunch menu. Puss in Boots, they can even bring their very own food truck to your event, voted one of the best food trucks in the area. And don't forget gift cards from Puss in Boots. They make great Christmas gifts. For more info about catering your holiday affair, you can call Puss in Boots at 215-295-8236. That's 215-295-8236. Puss in Boots Tavern at 942 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills, a great place to meet family and friends for the holidays. Tonight's game also made possible, big thanks to the Pennsbury boys basketball parents and Medela Capital. Lee Luckman and Medela Capital proudly supporting Pennsbury boys basketball and hoping you're enjoying tonight's game as we get the season underway. And we begin the fourth quarter, a traveling violation called against Northeast. That's Gale, who took steps and gives it up to the Falcons.
Yeah, just getting a little happy feet there, but Pennsbury really solidifying this defense and making things hard for this Northeast team.
And causing some of those turnovers and those extra steps. Breslin for three, swish. And, the net got tied up there. I thought that might be a quick timeout for Northeast. No, that whistle was because the net got all bunched up. Big bucket there for Breslin.
Can't have a bunched up net, you know what I mean?
And nothing but net for number 21. Breslin with his third three-pointer. And there a foul goes against Northeast. Yeah, E.J. Perilla called for the offensive foul. And Kent and Joshua flip it back and forth, bring it over midcourt. Out here to Breslin. That's kind of the same spot he hit the shot from. Perilla pokes it away, goes to the floor, picks it up, and timeout taken by the Vikings. A nice job there by Coach Novosel to recognize the situation and take a quick timeout with just about a minute gone here in the fourth quarter. And the Pennsbury Falcons with a 48-29 lead. Don't forget you missed the action on BCB. Read about the game in tomorrow's Trentonian. And we will be back tomorrow with more high school basketball at 5 o'clock. The Pennsbury Falcons take on Palumbo, more of the SOL Public League Challenge, and more basketball on WBCB. Looking forward to that one, and thanks to East Coast Printing for helping power tonight's game. Also with us tomorrow night, and they're your go-to source for custom apparel and printing in the 215 area and beyond. East Coast Printing, they'll bring your vision to life with embroidery, custom orders, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Promote your team, your business. Do something unique for the holidays. East Coast Printing 215 in the Morrisville Shopping Center. Nice bucket there. Northeast continuing to fight. They get two. And that was Gale connecting for Northeast. Joshua kick out, extra pass over to Hogenkamp. And that's one of the things the Falcons have talked about, making sure that the shot selection is what they're looking for. Sometimes going from what could be a good shot to a great shot, making sure the right players are taking the shots. You know, different shot selection maybe for one guy than for another as Garcia fires away. And Breslin tied up initially, and then they say Kamar Gale with the contact and is called for the foul. Mentioned during the holiday break, the Falcons will be playing in Wildwood, New Jersey, down at the shore.
Think they'll take a dip?
Yeah, why not? Go down there for the polar bear plunge. Joshua up top, pulls up. Little too strong. Garcia in transition, almost lost it. Vikings keep it alive, and Joshua looked like the block was clean, but officials call him for a foul on the drive, and we'll put Brown at the free throw line for 2. Well, yeah, looking forward to the polar bear plunge and all that stuff over the holidays. But WBCB, we have a ton of SOL league action coming your way. Pennsbury taking on Truman, the Council Rock schools. You know, in the season preview on City of Basketball Love, they do a great job of covering high school basketball, both in Philly. Oh, Tech.
So it looks like we got a technical
Okay.
foul.
Yeah, on the coach is called for the Tech.
I don't even think it was the head coach either. I think it was one of the assistants.
Yeah.
So looking forward to all of the basketball we've got coming your way throughout the season. And in that preview, they mentioned the fact that the Falcons, this basketball program has never won a district title. And kind of suggested that this might be a group that could contend for that type. You know, if everything starts to go right, I mean, a lot has to fall into place, build that team chemistry, and have everybody playing their best basketball this season. But not only this year, with the youth on this team, what this team could be over the next couple of seasons with sophomore talent like Joshua and Clark, junior a junior shooter like Sean Breslin, who had a great season last year, and they're looking for him to expand that role. Some size inside with Max Manga. I mean, Falcons also would say, you know, well, let's take it a step at a time.
Yeah, but, you know, if there's any step that could be any better than this first step, it's right now. You know, this game has really shown a lot. For a slow start out of the first quarter to still even put up 49 points, that's telling you one thing. This offense is starting to click and it's figuring things out. And the defense has looked like one of the best defensive units we've seen in the past couple years.
And the compete level for this team. I mean, right there you see them fighting for that loose ball. They keep it alive. Another possession earned here for this Pennsbury team. In their scrimmages, Coach Emmy told me they were talking about activity versus productivity. And they were getting a lot of activity, I think, in the early going of that scrimmage and weren't getting a lot of productivity. Kind of the same thing in tonight's game, where in the first quarter, not very productive, although they were pretty active. Kent with a shot from outside, no. Manga, offensive rebound, and a putback, and one. Give them an opportunity at the line to add to this 20-point Pennsbury advantage with just over 5 minutes to go in the McCaffrey's game of the night. But I thought that was pretty provocative to kind of throw out the fact that Falcons have not won a district title. I mean, last year they were only a 13-12 team. So you're talking about a huge step forward to be a true district contender. But I know that's the expectations the Falcons bench has, the coaching staff has.
Yeah. And, you know, you look at it, you lost some talent last year, you know, with Rocco Grande goes. I mean, there's a lot of new faces, a lot of unfamiliar faces, a lot of changeover in young faces. But if there's going to be any team, like you said, it would be this team with all this young talent. You know, a lot of these guys played together for a lot of years. There's a lot of fluidity amongst a lot of these guys, and you look at two of the top stars in tonight's game, Braden Clark and Patrick Joshua. Those are two best friends right there that have played with each other for a long time. So if there's any two people that are going to know how to play with each other, it's them two.
Clark takes the pass to the cup. And 2 more for Braden Clark, who right now is in the lead for our DiLorenzo's player of the game tonight. Had a great effort as Perilla with a baseline runner, no good, loose on the floor, picked up by Breslin. Yeah, and in the season preview on Suburban One Sports, one of the things where Coach Emmy was quoted that we want to get back in front when it comes to the league. So some people talking about the district, but that's not, those are people outside looking at this Pennsbury team and their potential. But for the Falcons, again, taking it step by step, and first step is game number 1, and had a shaky start, but things with a big turnaround here tonight.
Yeah, this has been a very, very solid outing for Pennsbury.
Big thanks to DiLorenzo's, the Berg Pizza. Throughout the season, we're going to be having a word with our Pennsbury players of the game. I talked to Coach Emmy about that. He said, that's great. Can I get a DiLorenzo's gift certificate too? I said, yeah, we probably could work that out for you, Coach Emmy.
We can figure something out for Coach.
Off of a foot there, out of bounds with 3.5 remaining. Yeah, DiLorenzo's 8919 New Falls Road, just down the street from Pennsbury High School, and proud sponsor of Pennsbury Athletics on WBCB. Kind of a nonchalant pass into Perilla, nearly taken away by Staines, and there they try to hand it off to Kamar Gale, and kind of just off the mark, goes out of bounds.
Yeah, and if you're looking at this Pennsbury team right now, one thing that, I'm looking at just from the visual test for maybe why they, people are looking at maybe the districts and the outside and everything like that. And last year they had a lot of talent on the bench and a lot of, good players that they could throw in there. It feels like this team is just loaded with a lot of good players on the bench, and I don't think we've ever seen Coach Emmy work this many guys into a game throughout the last couple of years. Obviously they've had leads. They put some guys in that we haven't seen a lot, but there was a lot of quality players on this team, and we've seen them all play in this game so far, and that's going to go big for this team.
Wow, Breslin did so much work to get that right down. Great opportunity that just didn't get the finish on. And now Hogenkamp puts up a quick layup and banks that one home to make it 57-31.
Yeah, he let out a groan to show his displeasure of missing that shot.
Perilla there gets the shot off, extends with the left hand, and then underneath a whistle, a foul. And that goes against Owen Hogenkamp. And with 2:22, the Pennsbury starters are coming off the floor. Wes Emmy has seen enough as Manga, Hogenkamp, Clark, Breslin, and Staines will get a rest. And now these guys with some varsity experience. Garcia gets it poked away. The Falcons come up with a steal in transition. Yes. Omar Halwani, the 5'9" junior guard, gets a bucket as we get down under the 2-minute mark. Again, McCaffrey's game of the night. McCaffrey's Food Market's exceptional every day. And an exceptional turnaround for Pennsbury tonight. Back in action tomorrow. We'll have that game for you. They take on Palumbo. Oh, nice look inside. Beautiful find by Perilla as he bounces to Gomez. Easy lay-in. And then Gomez takes a charge. Good defense there for Northeast as they continue to battle with 1:33 to go, fourth quarter. Yeah, what a turnaround. Only 15 points allowed by Pennsbury after the first quarter tonight. Northeast was up big, 18-7 after quarter number 1. And a fast break bucket. Wozniak with 2. Well, and once the wheels came off for the Vikings, they just could not recover tonight. And from the second quarter on, this one dominated by Pennsbury. Really good start for them, and they were looking at the style of Northeast and how they like to play them early in the season, kind of as a measuring stick, and up to the task big time here.
Yeah, and I think the big thing about this Pennsbury team that people should take away is, like you said, the offensive prowess on this game was huge. 61 points so far in the game. Pennsbury doing a great job offensively, but like you said, only allowing 15 total points, 17 now, 17 total points since the first quarter. That's huge. That's lockdown, and we've seen a lot of good defensive squads and defensive performance from a Wes Emmy coach Pennsbury team, but this was one of the best ones we've seen in the last couple of years. And if they continue to build off this throughout the season, this is going to be a hard team to beat on top of the offense looking like it is.
Yeah, it's a good recipe out here. It's unable to complete the end one was Gomez. Falcons flip it around the perimeter. Big thanks to all of our sponsors for helping to make tonight's game possible. Oh, opportunity, golden chance there. And Max Katz couldn't quite get it to go. And then Garcia from distance will make it look a little bit better on the scoreboard. 61-38, your final, as the Falcons get it done. And they go to 1-0 on the season as they win their first game. So that's 1-0. Meanwhile, for Northeast, they fall to 2-1 here with their first loss here on the season. Well, all part of the SOL Public League Challenge. I'm going to head down onto the floor and try to get a quick word with our DiLorenzo's, the Berg player of the game. We're talking about Braden Clark. Active all throughout this game, consistent offensive threat, got himself to the line a ton of times, and really helped the defensive intensity. You're talking about that, Gus, as that helped to turn things around for Pennsbury after a tough first quarter. They get it going and wind up with a 61-30 victory. Big thanks to all of our sponsors, Team Toyota, McCaffrey's Food Markets, Dion Square Merchants, St. Mary Medical Center, along with the Revere Restaurant. Discount Auto, great to have them with us. Thanks to BCWSA, the Peruzzi Auto Group, East Coast Printing, the Trentonian, the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club, Jammer Doors, DiLorenzo's Pizza, the Peruzzi Auto Group, and Puss in Boots Tavern. Big thanks to the crew, Gus the Bus Barber doing our video engineering, helping with the call of the game. Makai Gundy with us behind the camera, helping to break down the action as well, as the Falcons get win number 1 on the season. They take it to the Northeast Vikings. And once again, our final score here from Bensalem High School, it was Pennsbury 61 and Northeast 30. Thanks for checking out high school basketball on the WBCB